Testing, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. What's up, guys? This is the very first episode of the One Life Experience. This is gonna be really short. It's just me introducing the podcast, giving you a little backstory, how One Life came to be, what One Life means to me, where I'm at in this season of life, and what you can expect from the podcast. So without further ado, welcome. I'm recording this right now, sitting in a rental car, and I thought, what better time to record the very first episode of the podcast? So before I bring anybody else on the podcast, there's a few things I want to share with you. This is the backstory of when I started to choose to live my one life. What really shifted something in me is when someone I really admired passed away. They lived with a lot of passion. They had a bigger than life presence to them. They really just inspired me so much to think bigger, to live bolder, to really lean into creating my own stories for my life. Looking back on it now, they probably didn't even realize the impact they were having on me in our interactions. When they passed away, it really hit me, and I started to ask myself more questions around how I wanted to spend my life. I started to ask myself, hey Ethan, what do you want to do with your life? Asking those bigger questions led me to a conversation one day with my girlfriend, talking to her around the idea of making the most out of life, how I wanted to not only do that myself, but also encourage others to do the same while I documented living out my own life. And I was sitting in my office, which was just a cheap desk and a rolly chair. I was telling her that I wanted to build something that helped people live with more intention, something that encouraged people to care about where they were spending their time. I was throwing out all these names like I do when I'm trying to come up with the next great idea. And I'm telling her, I just want to make the most out of my life. I know we only get one shot. I'm rattling off all these names in rapid fire. And she looked at me and she said, what if you named it One Life? That was it. It was straightforward. It encompassed everything that I wanted to create and build. It felt right. That was the start of it all. That is the moment where One Life began. Since then, I don't think there's been a day where I haven't thought of the phrase One Life. To me, One Life is living on purpose. That's what One Life is about. It's about saying yes to the things that matter. It's saying no to the things that don't matter. It's about doing the things that stretch you. It's about taking risks. It's about living boldly. It's about not waiting until the perfect moment, because we don't get to restart this life. What we do with our one life is on us. And I want to be abundantly clear. I'm not saying this from the top of some mountain. Right now, I'm 22 years old. This year, I moved 700 miles away from my hometown. I'm figuring a lot of things out. This is me sharing it. This season of life for me is about building intentionally, taking massive action, choosing not to sit on my own potential. One of the things that I wanted to do for a long while was create a meetup where people could get together, move their bodies, connect with one another. I'm super excited and proud to say we now have that with our One Life Run Club. It's been absolutely phenomenal. It's inspired me in so many ways. I just genuinely love being able to help create a space where people show up, move their body, and get to connect with others. It's been one of the biggest highlights of One Life so far that I've gotten to experience. So why start this podcast now before everything's figured out? The truth is, this is the process of figuring it out. This is the making of it. I want to document the figuring it out phase, the highs, the lows, the in-betweens, the progress, the setbacks. I want to document all of it. I don't want to wait until the perfect moment. With that said, here's what you can expect from the show. The One Life experience, it's gonna be different. I don't wanna do Zoom podcasts. I wanna sit across from real people and have real conversations. Whether it's in person at a studio, in a car, walking, running, in a sauna, on the rooftop, on the moon, wherever we are, I wanna have real conversations with real people, with great energy. Some of the episodes will be funny, some of them will be deep, some of them will probably feel like you're just hanging out in the room with us as we converse. It's gonna be really cool. But every single one of them will carry the heart of what One Life is about, which is making the most out of the time we have with the life we've been given. I'm super excited to also share that I want this to be a podcast for all of us. I want it to be interactive in a sense that if you have someone that you would love for me to sit down with, or a question, or a topic, or anything you want to hear more about, reach out to me. Together we'll get to shape this thing and it'll be really cool. That's the start. That's how One Life came to be. That's what One Life means to me. That's where I'm at in this season of life. So that is the very first episode of the One Life experience. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to follow along on socials, you can find us at the One Life experience. You can find me personally on socials at Ethan Lives Life, and all things One Life related under the handle at the One Life brand. One as in the number. If you're local to Destin, Florida, come check out the Run Club. We post updates on Instagram at One Life Run Club. Thank you again for listening. And as always, let's make the absolute most out of this one life we've been given.